In the grand theater of life on Earth, the script is one of relentless change. Over 99% of all species that have ever lived are now extinct. Yet, a few enigmatic actors have seemingly refused to exit the stage. They are the living fossils, organisms that look almost identical to their ancestors from hundreds of millions of years ago. This defiance of the evolutionary rule to change or die presents a fascinating puzzle, the living fossil paradox. How have these biological time capsules survived mass extinctions and planetary upheavals, seemingly unaltered? Today we'll explore how their story isn't about stopping evolution, but about perfecting a very different kind of evolutionary strategy. At the heart of this tale is perhaps the ultimate survivor, the horseshoe crab. To gaze upon one is to look back 450 million years. These armored arthropods were scuttling across the seafloor before the dinosaurs took their first steps. They witnessed the rise and fall of great marine reptiles, and they survived at least 5 catastrophic mass extinctions. This includes the Permian-Triassic Great Dying, which wiped out over 90% of marine species, and the asteroid impact that sealed the dinosaurs' fate 66 million years ago. Despite their name, horseshoe crabs are not true crabs. They belong to a group called chelicerates, making them more closely related to spiders and scorpions than to a lobster. Today, only 4 species remain, 1 along the Atlantic coast of North America and 3 in the coastal waters of Asia. Their incredible success is a testament to an effective body plan that has required little modification for eons. Their body is a masterclass in survival, divided into 3 main sections. The prosoma is the large, helmet-like front shell that acts as a formidable shield. The opistosoma is the hinged middle section, fringed with spines for added protection. And finally, the telson, that long, rigid tail. It's not a stinger, as many people fear, but a crucial tool for steering and, most importantly, for flipping the crab back over if it gets caught by a wave. A simple but life-saving innovation. Beyond their armor, horseshoe crabs possess a suite of extraordinary biological features. Their most famous attribute is their milky blue blood. Unlike our iron-based red blood, their blood uses a copper-based protein called hemocyanin to transport oxygen, which gives it that distinct blue hue. But the real marvel is what's inside. Their blood contains specialized immune cells called amebocytes. When these cells detect invading bacteria, they release a substance that instantly clots, forming a gel-like barrier that traps and neutralizes the pathogens. This rapid, highly effective immune response is so reliable that the substance, known as limulus amebocyte lysate, or LAL, has become an indispensable tool in modern medicine. It's used to test vaccines, injectable drugs, and medical implants for bacterial contamination, ensuring they are safe for human use. Their sensory system is also perfectly honed for their lifestyle. A horseshoe crab has a total of 10 eyes. 2 large compound eyes on its shell are excellent for spotting mates, while other simpler eyes, including some on its tail, act as photoreceptors. They sense ultraviolet light from the sun and reflected light from the moon. This allows the crab to time its all-important spawning rituals with the high tides of the new and full moons, a rhythm it has followed for millions of years. Furthermore, horseshoe crabs are generalists. They are not picky eaters, foraging in the sediment for small mollusks, worms, and algae. This flexible diet is a critical survival trait. While highly specialized species are vulnerable when their single food source disappears, generalists can adapt to changing food availability, a key advantage during the chaos of a mass extinction. The horseshoe crab isn't alone in its temporal defiance. Other lineages have also mastered the art of longevity. Perhaps the most dramatic story is that of the coelacanth. Known only from fossils, this group of lobe-finned fish was believed to have gone extinct alongside the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. So you can imagine the scientific community's shock when, in 1938, a museum curator in South Africa discovered a freshly caught specimen on a fishing trawler. It was the biological equivalent of finding a living triceratops. The coelacanth became the poster child for a Lazarus taxon, a species that vanishes from the fossil record only to reappear, seemingly resurrected. With a lineage stretching back 420 million years, the coelacanth is hugely important. As a lobe-finned fish, its fleshy, bone-supported fins are a crucial link to understanding how the ancestors of all land vertebrates, including us, made the transition from water to land. Its survival strategy appears to be one of refuge. The two known living species inhabit deep, rocky, cave-filled environments, a stable, dimly lit world where evolutionary pressures are likely less intense. In the plant kingdom, no species better exemplifies endurance than the ginkgo biloba. Its distinctive fan-shaped leaves are found in fossils, dating back 270 million years. What makes the ginkgo truly remarkable is that it is the sole surviving species of its entire taxonomic order. All of its relatives have long since vanished. The ginkgo's resilience is legendary. It is highly resistant to insects, diseases, and pollution, which is why it's a popular street tree in modern cities. This toughness was put to the ultimate test in 1945. 6 ginkgo trees growing near the epicenter of the atomic bomb blast in Hiroshima survived. They budded out the next spring and are still alive today, revered in Japan as symbols of hope. The ginkgo's survival was also aided by human cultivation in Chinese monastery gardens, which protected the last wild populations from extinction. Then there is the nautilus, another veteran of deep time. It's a cephalopod with a lineage extending back 500 million years. While its close relatives, the ammonites, perished with the dinosaurs, the nautilus persisted. Its iconic spiraled shell is the key to its survival. The shell is divided into a series of gas-filled chambers. The nautilus can flood or empty these chambers to precisely control its buoyancy, allowing it to migrate up and down through the water column. When threatened, it can retreat completely into its shell, sealing the opening with a leathery hood. Like the coelacanth, the nautilus strategy involves seeking refuge in the stable, cold, dark depths of the Indo-Pacific Oceans. However, its ancient success story faces a modern threat. Its beautiful pearlescent shell is highly sought after for jewelry, and overfishing now places this half-billion-year-old survivor at risk of extinction. So how do we explain these astounding feats of survival? The term living fossil itself is a bit misleading. Coined by Charles Darwin, the phrase implies that these organisms have stopped evolving, which simply isn't true. Molecular studies have shown that the DNA of horseshoe crabs, coelacanths, and others has been changing and accumulating mutations just like any other species. The paradox, therefore, is not an absence of evolution, but an absence of significant physical change. The key to this puzzle lies in a process called stabilizing selection. Evolution isn't always about driving change. It can also be about maintaining what works. If a species has a body plan that is highly effective and well adapted to a stable environment, natural selection will actively work to preserve it. Individuals with significant mutations or novel traits are often less successful and are weeded out, while those that stick to the successful ancestral form thrive. In this light, the stasis of a horseshoe crab isn't a failure to evolve, but an active, ongoing evolutionary success story in maintaining a winning design. Several key strategies emerge from the stories of these ancient survivors. First is finding a safe harbor. Many living fossils are what we call relict populations, the last remnants of once widespread groups. They often survive in isolated, stable environments like the deep sea, where they face fewer competitors and predators. The deep-sea caves of the coelacanth and the oceanic depths of the nautilus are perfect examples. Second is the winning generalist formula. As we saw with the horseshoe crab, being a generalist is a powerful strategy for surviving mass extinctions. When ecosystems collapse, specialists are wiped out. Generalists with their flexible diets and tolerance for a wide range of conditions, have a much better chance of persisting. Third is sheer resilience. For some, like the ginkgo tree, survival comes down to being incredibly tough. The ability to withstand disease, pollution, and even nuclear radiation has allowed it to endure when less robust species withered. And finally, we can't discount the role of pure luck. Surviving a global catastrophe sometimes comes down to being in a location that was less affected, or happening to possess a trait that, by coincidence, was advantageous in the new post-extinction world. The living fossil paradox, upon closer inspection, begins to dissolve. These time-defying species aren't supernatural oddities that have paused evolution. They are, in fact, stunning examples of an alternative evolutionary strategy. One of stability over radical change, resilience over specialization, and of finding refuge when the world is in turmoil. They are living proof that there is more than one way to win the game of survival. The horseshoe crab, coelacanth, ginkgo, and nautilus are more than just evolutionary curiosities. They are messengers from deep time, carrying within their genes and ancient body plans the stories of a world we can only glimpse through rock and fossil. They remind us of the planet's immense history and the incredible tenacity of life. Yet, their stories also carry a sobering, modern postscript. After enduring for hundreds of millions of years, weathering asteroid impacts and volcanic apocalypses, many of these ancient survivors now face their most perilous threat: us. Overfishing, habitat destruction, and climate change are pushing these ultimate survivors to the brink. Their past endurance is no guarantee of a future, and their fate now rests in our hands, a profound responsibility for the keepers of a planet so rich in ancient history.